What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yoon. You're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. I checked out Monster Hunter. It is a film that is based off of a Japanese video game of the same name. And this is a film that actually came out last year. I didn't get a chance to check it out, although I did want to check it out, but now it's streaming on Amazon Prime. I checked it out last night. Well, I checked out half of it last night. I checked out the other half this morning. And simply because, well, I'm going to be straight up about it, it's really not that good. And I had a hard time finishing it last night. So I watched the rest of it this morning. This one's directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who has directed a number of video game movies. And by that, I mean Mortal Kombat and a couple of Resident Evil sequels. And, of course, the Resident Evil movie itself. There's 6 of them, and I think 3 or 4 of them were directed by him. But in any case, so he's directed a bunch of video game movies, right? And Monster Hunter is another video game movie. This one also happens to star his wife, Mila Jovovich, as well as Thai kickboxing superstar Ong Bak. His name is not On Bak. His name is Tony Jaa, who, you know, if you're a martial arts fan, you know who Tony Jaa is. So this is a fantasy movie, and it's about kaijus, killing kaijus. That's why they're called Monster Hunters. That's why this film is called Monster Hunter. I don't know how much of this film actually takes from the original source material. Honestly, for me, for someone who isn't a fan of the game, I don't really care. I just wanted to see a fantasy adventure film with kaiju action in it. That's all I really cared about. And you know, this movie came out last year, and we're already like in the summer of the following year, and I've already read some reviews. I've heard some comments from people who watched it, and they said it's just not really good. It's actually quite bad. I'm just thinking to myself, how bad can it possibly be? I just want to see monster action, right? And yep, it's pretty bad. And I think the main reason why it's bad is because the story. Like, what story? There is no story. Like, they really just simplify this to straight up, like, they get transported to this other world, and then they're fighting monsters. And that's it. That's all it really is. They keep it really, really simple. And I'm really, really positive that the game has so much more depth than this. Because they kept it paper thin. They kept everything paper thin. I mean, you know, when you watch Pacific Rim, there's character development. There is a build-up. There is, you know, there's a plot. And there is, you know, there's a lot of backstory to it. This just thrusts us right into the action, which a lot of people don't mind. But there's a point where I'm just thinking to myself that, okay, a monster's popped out of nowhere. They need to fight it. It's got some tremor elements about it because, you know, it goes underground. It can detect vibrations in the desert. But in any case, that's what is happening through the whole movie. It's actually really quite repetitive. The guns don't work, yet they keep on blasting at it. That's a really annoying element, by the way, you know, because you have these U.S. military guys, and all they know how to do is shoot guns, and they don't you know, they should learn after a certain period of or a certain amount of rounds that this is ineffective. But okay, I get it. That's all they have, and you know they're gonna keep on going. But you know, it's yeah, it's not really good. I you know, I enjoyed some of the monster fighting action for the most part. Okay, but ultimately every action scene's the same. Tony Jaa has a bow and arrow made out of monster bone. He's got this giant sword. And Mila Jovovich has a arm grappling hook or whatever, right? And that's the action. That's pretty much it. The action doesn't develop. It doesn't get any smarter. They don't do anything different. Like, once you see them fight the monster in the first act, you pretty much have seen how they fight in the second act and third act, and there's nothing really different. So the movie's just really repetitive, and there you have it. I think I find more enjoyment out of the Resident Evil films. I will give it a 4 out of 10 for effort. Okay, I'll give it 4 for effort because they tried to adapt this monster movie. I mean, this monster video game. And some of the visual effects did look really good, and there was some decent monster action in it, but yeah, there's not a lot of depth to this movie. But what did you really expect? I mean, I didn't expect a lot, but I just figured that I think had they adapted more from the source material, I think it would actually be a lot better. I really believe that, for such, it's supposed to be a really popular game, and they couldn't possibly like it. Fans of that game couldn't possibly like it just because it's a button masher. There's probably got to be more to it than that. All right. Anyways, 4 out of 10. It's on Amazon Prime, so go check it out if you want to see it, but I don't recommend it. My name's Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.